We are already miserable beyond belief. We are on our way out of Desolation Point, sans bedroll, and if we play our cards right, we may, being the key word, just be able to stay warm on the way back to Coastal Highway. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our brand new, well, not so brand new anymore, but our new Last Misery series. So, here we are. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get my lantern back out, but hold on. I think what I'm going to do is just not sleep a little bit more, because I literally can't, but I might rest a bit more here. Hello? Bed? There we go. Let's pass time for, let's say, 3 hours. Because what I want to try to do here... Oh good, we're going to have some lights in. And the blizzard went away. That was not expected, but I'll take it. Go ahead and drink some water. That'll reduce some of the burden that we're currently dealing with. Okay. Right at the crack of dawn here. Tell you what, let's sleep for 1 more hour, because I need to recover some condition anyway. Oh my god, I had bed selected. There we go. Alright. We're not going to get that much more condition out of that, but it will give us a bit of daylight. Or maybe it won't. Let's light this. Yeah, the sun is rising as we speak. But one thing I want to do, before I go anywhere here, is let's come back inside for a moment. And let's break up, first of all, this crate. I'll use the hatchet since we now have some daylight. It was pointed out to me that in the previous episode I definitely used the heavy hammer to break up the... Really? Can I not see the door at all? Where am I? Good. Okay. Good lord. I definitely used the heavy hammer rather than the hatchet in order to break apart some wood in the church. Which, you know, my bad. For just letting it default to that. It's kind of hilarious. I think I'm going to use some accelerant here because I would rather we have that 100% start chance that we don't waste the match. This is a very important...
Perfect.
Actually, it sounds like the blizzard might still be going outside. Either that or it just came back. Okay, we've got 1 hour and 6 minutes on this fire. So here's what we're going to do. Let's step up as close to this as we can get it. Put those on the ground. So these are all heating. See, now we can turn around and very clearly see the door. I just got stuck in the corner and I was trying to, like, use the light from the doorway to find my bearings and definitely was not in a position to do so. Alright, so these will be ready in a moment. The nice thing about using coffee to do this is it will also help us stay warm. Well, I would say stay energized, but warm as well. That's the main benefit. Okay, here's our flask. Let's go ahead and do that. And it does sound like the storm is mostly gone, but I still hear some wind. So we'll have to see how bad it is out here, which means I probably won't be able to move with this torch too much. Oh no, it's actually quite clear. Nice. Clear, but windy. Okay, so let's go ahead and drink one of these. They also have a little bit of caloric value, which is nice. But it'll keep us warm, and what I want to try to do... I'm a little bit more encumbered than I should be, which is frustrating. I would like to try and make it back up to the lighthouse next, but what I may do instead, given how fast we're getting cold, yeah, I think what I may do instead is go ahead and try and make it back up to the church. That might be the fastest way out of here. There's a part of me that wants to go straight up that way, but that's where the wolves are. So we're not going to tempt fate quite that much. So a little bit of deja vu here, because we're following the exact same route that I followed previously. We are unfortunately losing temperature quite fast. It is early morning and clear after a blizzard, so it's understandably quite cold. And also, of course, we're playing on Misery Mode, the hardest difficulty mode ever created in the Long Dark, with difficulty settings cranked higher than Interloper in every sense. So, yeah, that's a thing. Okay, this is going to be a little challenging, because I can't run too fast. And last time I came up here, yeah, crazy deja vu. Could be a wolf right here, need to be careful. Last time I came up here, I got lucky. I don't know if the game is going to be that nice to me twice. Alright, I'm going to get a little bit cold here. But for now, I just want to keep my head on a swivel and see if I can spot any wolves on this higher ridge. Okay. Yeah, the nice thing about this coffee is that it's going to stay warm for a bit. It will help keep us warm. Still don't have a guarantee there's not a wolf right in front of me, so hang on. I hear a howl somewhere. Sounds like ahead of me and to the right, but not too close. Let's not make any assumptions. Okay. Seems clear. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and consume another coffee. I really want them to add a more effective inventory system for those insulated flasks. Because, my god, they are a lot to deal with. They really are. Let me grab that old man's beard just in case I don't have enough. I think I have enough for one bandage in case I get bitten. To be honest, if I were to get attacked by a wolf right now, I would probably just die. I have weapons with which to defend myself, so that's good.
It's too cold to think.
Okay, so in order to keep myself somewhat warm enough, I'm going to go straight down into this cave again. But we're not going to stay here this time. We're not going to go back through like we did the first time. I'm just trying to warm up for a moment. Okay, there is a lot of coal, which could be handy for starting a fire. Let's take a look at what I can drop, because I'm carrying a lot of crap. First things first, let's go ahead and make an old man's beard wound dressing. Good way to pass the time. Hypothermia risk is gone. Okay, and with that, I can go ahead and drop the antiseptic. I've got lots of painkillers, more than I need, frankly. Let's go ahead and drop 2 bottles. Don't need the newsprint at the moment, so I'll go ahead and drop that. Keep the rest of that stuff. I do have some extra clothing items, which I could pass the time a bit here by harvesting these. I have those books that I still need to read. But I think I want to wait until I'm back in Coastal Highway and hopefully in the presence of a decent amount of supplies before I do that. Also need to be mindful of the fact that that insulated flask is not going to last forever. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, that's everything there. We still have a bit of flour, which is good, I guess. Several torches. Let's harvest a few of these so I can have the sticks instead, and then we'll head back out. No, I didn't. Rude. Didn't want to use that, wanted to harvest it. Okay. That leaves 3. Let's go ahead and get rid of 1 more. Okay, we are now significantly lighter on our feet. I can drop that scrap metal. Not going to be needing it anytime soon. And we'll find more.
God, I'd eat anything right about now.
Okay, that is not a good sign. We need to keep moving. Okay. Here's how we will handle this. Let's go ahead and drink a little bit more coffee. I want to try and stay well fed if I can. If the hunger meter empties out, it's not game over, but it would immediately deliver a setback. Still need to be careful about wolves. I think there might be one that wanders up here. I don't remember exactly where its patrol stops. Oh yeah, that's right. We have some burdock root, don't we, that I can harvest, and that'll be a way to get some snacks. So I can probably do that when I get back to the cave. Because I already have some. I can harvest these. So I've already harvested some, but we can prepare some, is what I meant to say. And we're not terribly far from the exit at this point. This is not quite the way we came in, but this would be good map knowledge for those of you just learning Desolation Point. Desolation Point, of course, one of the oldest zones in the Long Dark, having been added to the game after Coastal Highway, which Coastal Highway was the first zone added after Mystery Lake, the original zone in the Long Dark. Okay. They're pretty cold. There are some rose hips, but I've already got plenty of rose hips. I'm going to hold off on picking those for now because I just need to stay moving. My condition is not great, and I need to get out of this zone with the energy that I have. Which thankfully is a lot because I have coffee.
I'm starving.
I'm working on it, Jennifer. Give me a minute. Getting some fun deja vu from our Darkwalker run last year right now. Definitely had to use that same trick to sneak out of this zone ahead of the Darkwalker, and I think the Darkwalker was actually coming toward me, and I had to kind of go around him to the left. That was a joy. That was a hoot and a half, as they say. I'm just kidding. They don't say that. Not anymore.
Oh, so cold.
Okay, so there is an area over there. That's one spot that I kind of wanted to check, potentially for the bedroll, but I think we're more likely to find the bedroll in Coastal Highway if I just kind of stay moving. We need to get out of Desolation Point. It is a more remote kind of location to be in. Okay. One more coffee. But I have burdock root. So let's go ahead and prepare, let's say 2 burdock root at a time. I was going to do all 5, but it's going to take some time to do that. Okay. Now with this, that's 275 calories each. Thank you very much. So that's quite helpful. Now we'll do that again, although this time we will do all 3. That might take the warmth bonus away from the coffee, which would be unfortunate. Burdock root, for those of you who are unfamiliar, but maybe familiar with the Long Dark in general, this is a newer addition to the game, as of the last year or so. They are natural antibiotics that you can find, which is really quite cool. All right, I'll go ahead and grab that feather, why not? What's here? Okay, don't need that. Grab that cloth. All right, I don't have all the lantern fuel in the world, so let's get moving, shall we? And maybe, you know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and drink while I'm thinking about it. While this coffee is still hot, I think it is still hot for a second longer. We'll get some calories out of this. We'll replenish some thirst, and we'll be warming up. Now, that's not helpful in the cave, but if I can move through here quickly, first of all, that gives us more energy back, which is nice. But that will allow us, to stay warm once we are on the far side of the cave. So let's just try and get through it as quickly as we can. Okay, nothing here. Plenty of coal still to be picked up, but at this point I'm not worried about it as much because we've done our initial forge run. Now we need to find some saplings so that we can start preparing what we need for a bow and arrow. We have a couple of arrowheads, not that many, so at some point we'll have to do another forge run. I'm still carrying the heavy hammer, which is deliberate. Normally I would leave it, but because we still need it, and because we're not terribly far from another forge, I want to have it with me, as opposed to not. 9 times out of 10, I'd be leaving it. Okay, let's go ahead and put this away because we don't need it. Okay, here we are at the far side. This is going to be a little bit interesting because, first of all, coming this way is always a little bit easier because you can just jump straight down rather than needing to go around towards the truck over there. Okay, I just heard a wolf going for a bunny, which could be good. That means that at least one of the wolves in the area is going to be distracted. Unfortunately, there's more than one. For sure. And I don't know... Alright, there's a bunny straight ahead of me. Alright, let me quickly... I'll grab that feather as well. We are going to start needing feathers. Let me double check in this cave to make sure I didn't overlook anything the first time through. I was quite cold when I came through here the first time. But I want to try and take full advantage of my warmth bonus and stay moving. Alright, that howl is off to my left. Okay, I'm a little bit nervous there could be a wolf right here to my right. Bad place to get stuck right there. And yes, I did get stuck for a split second. Okay. Trying to get the high ground just in case I do see a wolf. Seems like we might be in the clear. Remember, sprains are easier now that we have the new misery affliction that I'm currently suffering from. So I'm going to try and stay over here, where it's flat, and there will be a brief sprain risk environment straight ahead. I don't think I checked that car, but it's worth it to avoid the wolves at the moment. Alright, so this is still gonna be quite challenging. Honestly, those coffees didn't do as much for me as I hoped. And I think the wind is literally blowing in my face. Like it does.
I can't feel my hands.
So, I'm trying to think where the best spot to run for cover in Coastal Highway would be. I might go straight back up to Misanthropes. Or is it Jackrabbit Island? I think it's Misanthropes. Oh, hello. Cedar Firewood. That's honestly going to slow me down a bit. But it could come in handy. Alright, so we are officially about to be cold again, with nothing to protect us, no coffee to save us.
If I don't, Laura.
At least we're doing okay on the food front. And I know where I'm going to find more, like for sure. But for now, I need to get to shelter, and unfortunately, we're not out of the woods yet, because even though we've escaped Desolation Point and we're almost back to Coastal Highway, we are nowhere near any place safe. So there was a little bit of beachcombing I was considering potentially doing when I left Desolation Point. Mentioned it at the end of the last episode. It was just too cold. It was just too cold. So... okay, so we have some... I'm not going to work on those right now. I really would like to, but I need to stay moving. Ooh, that deer is tempting. That deer is very tempting. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too... yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go straight for the house there. Because I think there's a pretty good chance I can dodge the bear. And dodge some wolves by going straight this way. This is absolutely atrocious weather. Alright, so there's the bear off to my right. Center screen. The ice should be fine. Straight in front of me, so unfortunately I can't move any faster than this. I am pretty encumbered. Not that encumbered though, it's just my movement speed is slower on account of the wind, and I can't sprint as quickly because of this affliction. So, joy. As I said, miserable beyond belief. Alright, so the bear is now coming straight toward me. That's kind of rude, if I'm being honest. He should give me a little bit of space. Okay, so we're just below 50% condition now. I am beelining to the top of that ridge. We've, of course, already been in this house. But one of the main reasons I wanted to go this way is that it would give me a place to rest. There's definitely a bed there. It would put me in a pretty good position to, if the weather's good, to go ahead and head for the next island over. And then when I can get to that bridge way over there, that's where some of my food is. Now, ideally, I can find a little bit of food before then. That's what I'm going to try to do. I could make some... oh, that's not good. That sounds way too close. Oh my god, why are you like this game? Oh, there's a wolf right there. Oh, he's coming for me. What the hell? He's charging me. Okay, well, I'm probably going to die here. Great. Yep. Yep. There was no pursuit music. That's the one time. That is the one time in my life that I've been upset that there's not pursuit music. There was no indication the wolf was actually, like, there. I heard no charge. I'm not even mad about that. Okay. So 8 days survived. 37 locations discovered. 14% of the world explored. Yeah, of course you're gonna howl in my face. That's rude, wolf. Okay. Well. Fine, save the journal. Let's begin again, shall we? Last Misery 2. Technically not, though, because we're still in Season 1. You know, I once read an interesting book which said that most people lost in the wilds, they die of shame. Yeah, they die of shame. What did I do wrong? How could I got myself into this? And so they sit there and they die. Because they didn't do the one thing that would save their lives. Thinking. Okay, so we're back in Pleasant Valley. This location that we're in ought to look somewhat familiar because it's the exact same spot that we started from last time. Which, honestly, I haven't done a ton of runs in Misery because I was trying to live as long as I could when I was testing. And then the one that we just finished is my first full run since the launch. But, hang on, let's go ahead and grab this. Oh, I need that cattail head. But one thing that's interesting is, like, because the start location is the same every time, and I'll be curious, especially from the more experienced players in the comment section, those of you watching, like, what's your sense of, like, how much do you play the same way every time? Know what I mean? Like, to what extent are you literally, every time you play Misery, going for the same basic strategy because it's the same basic start, and so you can kind of plan out. I wonder how much of a meta will develop around that. It's really hard to say. I might try and go in some different directions this time, just to mix things up a bit, for the sake of the series. But, yeah, that wolf, there was, first of all, he was walking on a slope where I didn't expect him to be. Not only was he on the wrong side of the island, but he also was, like, almost diagonal there when I first saw him, and I didn't hear him approaching. I think I heard a bark, but I assumed it was distant and, like, he was going for a bunny somewhere. Now, if I had really been ready for that, I was really caught off guard by the fact that a wolf was there and that there was no indication that I was being charged. So if I'd been ready for that, I could have maybe pulled a flare and put some distance between me and him and maybe found my way up to the house. But that genuinely surprised me. Like, that was not working as you would normally expect the game to work. It is what it is, though. So, we might get lucky and find an actual can opener this time. Or, how about this? A bedroll. Right? Okay. And the wolves out here. Okay, I'll check the barn first, like I did last time. Then we'll head to the farmstead and see what we can find. It is midday, which is nice. We're losing a little bit of condition due to the cold. Alright, I see a demon out that direction. We have frostbite risk at the moment. Need to get inside ASAP. Is that a... It is. Interesting. So we've got a dead deer right there. So I think what I may do, like I said, I'm going to do things... I'll go ahead and grab that. I'm going to do things a little bit differently, just for the sake of mixing it up. I might treat it as just sort of, not necessarily like fully experimental run, but like just sort of seeing what happens if we go different directions while still trying to survive. I'm going to try as hard as I can, but like, rather than going straight for Coastal Highway, what if we went straight for Mystery Lake instead with our one flare that we find, hopefully, you know? What if that was the direction that we traveled? Alright, we are unfortunately still cold down here, which is annoying. Maybe we can find something in the locker? Forgot to search these last time. Alright, 3 carrots. And of course, the order of afflictions is going to be different, with the exception of the first, which is always the same. The first and last are always the same in Misery. Okay, I need to get inside as soon as I can, because I do have frostbite risk. Oh, nice. Perfect, now I'm fine. I still have frostbite risk on my hands, though. So we need to be mindful of that. All right, some cured leather. Very nice. I'm literally feeling my way around in the dark right now. I know that it's not... You can't see anything on YouTube right now. Maybe if you're watching in 4K, you can. Okay, let's come over here. Yeah, there are certain things that I wasn't really able to find very early in that first run, so possibly we could have some better luck this time. We'll see how it goes. Pinnacle peaches right away. Cooking pot. Cooking oil. Old mill flour. So just like last time, one of the main things we need to find, apart from a bedroll and a can opener, is we need to find, hey look, 61.56 gallons of water. We need to find a flare. We need to find either that or a storm lantern, because without a storm lantern, we can't actually go anywhere. We can't go through these caves that are connected to the various nearby zones. Oh nice, there's some coffee. A Summit soda. I'm going to check these drawers first, and then we'll take a closer look at the shelves and the floor and the desk, just to be sure. Anything down here? Nope. Okay. I do need to make some covering for my hands, but I don't have anything with which to actually sew said covering yet, so we'll have to wait a moment longer. Hopefully not too long. Okay, looking like no dice on the can opener for the second time, which is... it makes me sad. But it is what it is. Note left behind. I'm not going to worry about reading those just yet. Check the fridge. Check the freezer. That container does not always spawn out here. There's some wires, don't care. Alright, while we still have the daylight, let's finish searching the house. Nice. I see some ketchup chips. So Canadian. But they're delicious. So you can't really argue. Nice. There's a sewing primer. So once I find a sewing kit, I'll definitely know how to make my hand coverings. But until then, the game is just torturing me. There's still plenty to search here too, so I could go straight up to Signal Hill if the weather's decent. There's also the option of going straight to the barn. The weather at the moment sounds good, but I don't know whether it's going to stay that way for the next few moments. Alright, there are a couple other spots. Oh nice, new thin wool sweater. That I will take. So that'll help. Ooh, okay. Unfortunate. So far, I'm not too happy with our new farmstead loot table. But, who knows? It could make it up to me in the next few seconds. I'm not going to lie, the main thing I was really hoping for, respawning here, and the main reason I came straight back here. Well, first of all, it's a good spot to come straight back to from this spawn location that seems to be the same every time in Misery. Well, it's definitely the same every time in Misery, but also, I was just hoping for the can opener. That's what I wanted in my life. But for now, we have no afflictions to speak of. So let's capitalize. Because you really have to make the most in misery mode of this initial kind of section of the gameplay before the first condition sets in. Or before the first, not condition, but affliction sets in. Okay. Just making absolutely sure I haven't overlooked anything ridiculous. Because I think I want to try and make it to the barn. I've got a bit of frostbite risk on my... I wonder why it's saying I have frostbite risk on my head. Oh, because it's still going away. So, yeah, unfortunately I can't make... anything. Did I miss anything in here? No. Okay. Let's see. Fastest route would be side door. I'm torn, honestly, because the weather's so nice. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to head straight out to... Tell you what, let me check the car real quick, because I can. 4 wolves. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 wolves.
Gotta warm up somehow.
Oh, you'll be fine. So yeah, what we're going to do is go straight for the tool shed. And I think I might go straight to Signal Hill next. Because I can. There's a bed up there. There's potentially some pretty nice clothing. Potentially a bedroll, I think. Unless that changed. You're going to hear me say that a lot, especially if you're newer to the community, because I'm trying to keep everyone frosty with regard to the changed loot tables. They've been different for about a year and a half now, maybe about a year. I can't remember if it was right away or if it was in the first or second update to Tales. But all the loot tables in the Long Dark have been refreshed, and the wildlife spawns will be refreshed in a coming update. So everything we're used to with regard to where things conventionally might spawn or definitely spawn, not necessarily the case anymore. Okay, I forgot that this place is not actually guaranteed to stay warm. We also don't have matches anymore, by the way. So there's that. So that's even more reason to not stick around here. Let's see. Okay. I do want to... Alright. I would hate to get frostbite on my hands. So this is going to be kind of pushing it. But let's push it. I think one of the things that's interesting about playing Misery Mode is that because you know the game is literally going to throw everything at you but the kitchen sink, because it's just so intense and so miserable and so nonstop, you pretty much have to play the same way. You've got to just go for it. Alright, so... Got a stale granola bar. Nice. So I'm going to risk frostbite on my hands. By going straight for Signal Hill right now. Before we even end this episode. I'm not too tired. Remember, I have no afflictions. I'm tempted to check that car, but I don't want to risk frostbite that much. Let's grab a few sticks and keep moving. Alright, that's 3. Good enough for me. Alright, so there's the rope. We could technically use the rope, but that would consume a lot of energy, and I could just climb the side here and be fine. I haven't made any bandages yet, so if we get any sprains, we'll just be kind of out of luck. Frostbite risk is not at 50% yet, so we're probably fine. Now what's interesting about this is that if I'm lucky, which is a big if, I'd have to find a lot here in order to do what I'm about to suggest. If I'm lucky, I might be able to just get the heck out of Dodge straight from here. I can, of course. And of course it's an ankle sprain. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the ridiculousness that not only did I get a sprain right as I'm getting to the top of the ridge, but it's an ankle sprain. So now I can't sprint. I don't think I'm going to get frostbite, but we're going to have to hobble our way up to the top here. But if I'm lucky, we can go straight to Mystery Lake. But that would involve finding, at the very least, it would involve finding a flare and some matches, but at least a flare. But it would also involve, hopefully, finding a bedroll. And there's another sprain. So rude. What would be hilarious is if the bear was at the top of this hill as I got to the top and was just in my face and killed me. That would make for one hell of an episode. I wouldn't even be mad. I wouldn't even be mad. Are you freaking serious? Jennifer, can you, like, watch your feet? Can you just, like, mind where you step? Please? Please. Okay. So ridiculous. Okay, let's go around here. There's some firewood, which I'll grab, and let's step inside and see what we can find here. Now, thankfully, we will have the opportunity to rest here, and because we still have the daylight on our side... Oh, you're fine. Don't be a baby. Because we still have the daylight on our side, tomato soup, sardines, coffee, we can search quite thoroughly. More coffee. Okay, so we found lots of coffee so far. That's nice, I guess. Maybe. Sewing kit. There we go. And a heavy hammer. Hey! There's a cotton toque. Alright, so loot table up here doesn't seem too generous, sadly. Not that I was... Well, I can't say not that I was hoping, because we all know what I was saying, like, 2 minutes ago. So I guess I was kind of hoping. But, you know, we might still find something. We'll see. Alright, there's some cloth, which might come in handy. Painkillers, nice. Unfortunately, the main thing is it doesn't look like there's a flare or lantern here. And without a flare or lantern, we can't go straight for Mystery Lake. We just can't, because we have nothing with which to light the way. Oh, nice. Fleece mittens. Oh, man. Of course, the game serves up my first misery death on camera. And fleece mittens in a single episode. Can we take a moment to appreciate the irony of that? Okay, we are way over time for this episode. Here's what I'm going to do. I need to rest. Let's go ahead and do a couple of things. I need to drink this soda. I want to go ahead and eat those sardines as well and hopefully not get food poisoning. It's kind of low condition. Nice. Alright, there's that. Okay, now with that, it puts us in a pretty good condition to get some rest, which we definitely need to do. Let's sleep off these sprains. Sleep for, I'm going to say 9 hours. We'll get about 8. But we'll also go ahead and stop this episode here. In the next one, I will head for the barn, but... And then I'm going to head for Thompson's Crossing and still check everything there. Oh man, look at all those. All those risks just gone. But then after that, I think I'm going to do what I can, unless the game forces my hand. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to try as hard as I can to survive, you know, in whatever... I don't want to be too contrived with how I play this, because this is misery mode, and if the game really forces my hand, I'll go back to Coastal Highway. But I want to try to get to Mystery Lake this time and try that route, because, again, we had this question that I asked right after the respawn, which is, well, hold on a second. If this is the same spawn location every single time, if we start in the same spot in Pleasant Valley every single time when we play Misery, to what extent are we playing the same game every time? And that's an interesting aspect of like the critique of the mode, because I don't know that when I was testing it that it was super obvious that we were going to definitely start in the same location every time in the final version of the mode. So I'll be curious to see how everyone's feelings around that develop as we continue to get used to the presence of this new mode in the Long Dark. But for now, I'm going to stop this one here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along for early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges. Look for the join button. New episodes drop at 1 p.m. US Eastern Time every day but Wednesday, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.